Hi everyone, and today I'm going to be discussing premonitory urges in Tourette syndrome and tic disorders. So some people with Tourette's and tic disorders find that before a tic, we experience quite a strong sensation, and this sensation can feel different for everybody. For me personally, different tics have different sensations. So for my vocal tics, when I'm yelling random phrases and stuff in my coprolalia, it feels like a pressure in my chest. It sort of feels like someone's blowing up a balloon in my chest, and I kind of actually feel like I can't breathe. If I suppress, it does feel like I can't breathe, and that's why I never recommend suppression. And also, for my full body tics, it sort of feels like something's shooting up my spine. And then I did have tics where I felt like something was stuck to my skin, like it didn't actually feel sticky, but it just felt like something was clumping around my skin. That sounds very strange, but these sensations were quite strange, and they can pretty much feel different for everybody. So I think one of the worst urges actually was in my throat, because I had a throat tic and I just felt like something was stuck in my throat. It's also interesting as well that the premonitory urges aren't necessarily localised, so they don't occur in the part of the body where the tic is. For example, I had a middle finger tic, but the urge was actually in my stomach, so I had a sensation in my stomach and then did the middle finger tic. So the urge isn't technically always in the part of the body that the tic occurs. And not everyone with Tourette's actually experiences premonitory urges. Quite a lot of people do, but not everyone does. I have a friend with Tourette's he has quite severe Tourette's, however he just isn't aware of the urges, and not everyone is aware of it. But for me personally, I think I've actually been aware of my urges pretty much my whole life, because my Tourette's didn't explode till I was 8 years old, but I did have mild tics pretty much my whole life. And I remember when I was 4 years old, I had a spitting tic, and I always felt like there was this weird thing in my mouth, and that was pretty much, I think, my first time experiencing the premonitory urge. And yeah, some people also have some tics where they're aware of the urge and some tics where they don't have the urge. So some people find that CBIT can be helpful, as some people, not everyone, but some people can redirect with specialist help by a CBIT therapist. So if someone has a tic that causes them harm or trouble, then they might be able to redirect it in a way that still fulfills the premonitory urge but doesn't cause harm to the individual. However, obviously CBIT can be really, really helpful and life-changing for some people, but it doesn't work for everyone. But that's the same with pretty much every Tourette's treatment, because for me, behavioural intervention didn't work and therapy didn't work because it just triggered my rage attacks and worsened my symptoms, but that doesn't occur with everyone. And I think with Tourette's, it's just a trial and error, seeing what works for you, but that just personally didn't work for me. And I think my premonitory urges are actually one of the most distressing parts of Tourette's. My Tourette's was very, very severe, and I couldn't dress myself, I couldn't use the toilet in my own home, I couldn't sleep in a room my own, couldn't walk up the stairs without assistance, and I couldn't really do anything. And I think even though I was physically disabled by my tics, the premonitory urges were incredibly distressing, and sometimes the urge was so strong that it actually made me feel sick, and it was just terrifying because I felt these things in my body. I actually questioned once, is this part of Tourette's or is it like a tactile hallucination? Turns out it is part of Tourette's and it is completely normal, but it is kind of scary to experience. So it is important to know that if you're around someone with Tourette's, there is usually a lot more going on that you can't see. So you might be able to see the physical tics and stuff, but you can't really see the urges and how much distress they're causing us. You can't really see the mental tics, intrusive thoughts, etc. Everyone has different issues, but there is a lot of there's a hidden aspect to Tourette's that you might not be able to see the internal struggle. But yes, there is also a rarer type of tic. It's actually said to be the rarest type of tic, called a phantom tic. Now, I will do a video on this, hopefully, because I do think it's a really important thing to talk about. But a phantom tic is basically where you feel out-of-body sensations. So for me personally, I felt like this sticky magic, as I called it when I was younger, was clumping around objects and walls and doors, and it triggered my Tourette OCD rituals. So before a ritual, the rituals were involuntary, because Tourette OCD is different from classic OCD. Tourette OCD is pure compulsion, whereas OCD is obsession and compulsion, or just obsession. But Tourette OCD is where, rather than intrusive thought, the rituals are preceded by a premonitory urge, and mine were out-of-body sensations. So I had a ritual where I'd have to bang the door into the wall, and it just felt like there was stuff clumping around the handle, and it was very strange. But I had this, and my rituals were really, really severe, and I lost the ability to do everything because the urges were just so strong, and it felt like something was actually pulling me like an elastic band. I knew there was nothing there, but I couldn't control it, and it was a horrible sensation. And I did have this ritual and tic thing where I felt like there was an invisible barrier or wall in front of me, and I had to jump over it. Even though I knew there was nothing there, I could not physically pass it because I felt that there was something there. And a premonitory, like a phantom tic, isn't necessarily a phantom tic isn't necessarily something, you don't have to touch it to feel it. For example, I can feel the phantom tic from the other side of the room, and I just sense that it's there, and I know there isn't actually anything there, but I can still feel it from the other side of the room. and it was literally clumping and coating all the objects and stuff around me, and that's why my rituals lasted hours. For example, I took about 3 hours in the bathroom drying my hands, sitting on the toilet. I had lots of toilet rituals. I'm not going to go into that now, but Tourette's affects pretty much anything, trust me. But yeah, it was really, really horrible because these sensations were absolutely terrifying because they're not seen as a normal part of Tourette's, and nobody understood me, so I felt really misunderstood. But luckily now I know about phantom tics, and I know that it's nothing to be alarmed about because it is just part of my condition. Although it isn't very well known and it is quite rare, if you search phantom tics, there is only about, I don't know, what I found was about 3 articles on it, and it is said to be the rarest type of tic. But I do think it's still important to know about because there will be people like me who are feeling really understood and scared and like, what is this? So I do think it's really important for people to know that they're not alone. There is a lot of different complex symptoms. That is what makes Tourette's such a complex neurological condition, that everybody has different collections of symptoms, and some they can seem very strange, but they are still part of the Tourette's. So yes, I hope this video has helped, and I just want to say that obviously, yeah, there is a lot more going on that you can't see. The premonitory urges are really distressing. They're not always in the same part of the body as the tic, and it's important not to suppress because it does make the urge worse, which makes the tics worse because it builds up inside you. I hope this video is useful. Bye bye.